relationship had began as a friendship before they started dating. So they were on the same history course at St. Andrews University. They lived only a few dorms from each other. They shared the love of sports and fitness, joining for regular morning runs. They may have remained no more than pals, but Kate's stint as a catwalk model at the show, which William saw her in a different light. He was like, oh, I see you, like I really see you. I can imagine what that was like, that first moment when he saw her. He paid £200 for a front row at the show in the spring of 2002. And when Kate took the runway in a transparent dress, he turned to his friends and whispered, wow, Kate's hot. Yes, she's hot. So Ingrid Seward, the editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine, says that Kate and William's relationship began as a friendship. When Kate did that catwalk show, that was the first time he really looked at her as more than a lovely friend. And early dates were very simple. They used to go to a place called Ma Bell's, and they would be very discreet when they would go. Often William would turn up and Kate would appear later, but they wouldn't be together. William wanted to keep it under wraps as long as he could. Yeah, because he knew as soon as people found out, she was going to get hounded. This happens to everybody that comes into the royal family. Why was it any different for Meghan? Why has Meghan made such a ruckus about, I got to protect my privacy? Why is she getting all drama filled with everything? Because she wants to create news. She wants people talking about her to increase her popularity. It wasn't really about people harassing her and hounding her and moving to California for these reasons, because really no one was really doing that. And we know it happens to everyone. This is why everything about Meghan and what she says is the reason for something is a lie, because we can see a history, we can see how these things evolve. And this is just common practice for those that marry into the royal family. And this is why the other two girls didn't want to marry Prince Harry, because they didn't want this happening to them. And believe me, Meghan knew full well what would happen. She made a choice knowing what it would be, and she has to accept that and be responsible, pull up her big girl panties and accept the facts and stop trying to play games with the press and the people. This is why we are so critical of her, because of this falsifying, perpetrating type of thing going on all the time. It's like, enough, stop it. Kate put forward plans for Queen to move in next door to Cambridge's. So she has suggested that the Queen should move in next door to the Cambridge's. After the death of her beloved husband, the Queen has mainly stayed at her residence in Windsor Castle, traveling to Buckingham Palace for official duties. So after some recent health issues, it has been rumored that Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, has come up with the idea for the Queen to move next door to her family at Kensington. This is so nice and sweet of Kate. And I just think how Kate comes across is a very sincere person. Like, she's not doing this to get in the papers. We know she's an introvert. She had issues with trying to even get started as a public person. But her sincerity really comes across. And I think this might be a good thing. So royal insiders are saying if someone suggests that William and Catherine should move in next to the Queen, that's completely normal. But if anyone were to bring up the idea that the Queen should move in next to the Cambridges, it will be something very hard to believe. So however, according to the latest report, it was the Duchess of Cambridge who suggested to Her Majesty to move in next door amid concerns about security for senior members of the royal family. So most recently, a young man had broken into the Queen's private quarters at Windsor Castle on Christmas Day. Prince William, his wife, and their children, we all know that they stay at the apartment 1A in Kensington Palace. So not sure what's going on with that story, if it's true or not, but I think it is a nice gesture considering the person that Kate is. It's very believable to me. Just like having any other person in your family move in next door, because you want to show you're nice to your family. No matter how much of a wackadoo you consider them to be, it's your family. And once again, I don't know why, but I always have to bring up this comparison with Meghan because of her having a public life now and how she treats her family in public. It's just so wrong. I'm going to speak out against it. I'm going to keep it real here because we have to. People who are public people need to have people keeping it real for them. Because you ain't gonna get out and perpetrate and try to create this false narrative when we know what's going on. We're gonna have to, it's our duty and responsibility to report and give our views on the right thing to do. And that is what I'm doing with my royally teachable moments. The BBC has released a podcast series on Prince Harry and Meghan after a previous report had been scrapped and backlash over the controversial documentary. So they were waiting for things to die down before they let this podcast out. It comes after the BBC sparked fury in November with its two-part documentary, Prince William and Harry. The prince in the press was blasted by the royal household for giving credibility to overblown and unfounded claims. So in December, they reported the BBC had delayed its podcast about the Duke and Duchess after the documentary prompted a barrage of complaints. So BBC spokesman said at the time, as we have very clearly before, the podcast is still in production and will be released as a box set when it is ready. The podcast series, which has 6 episodes, has today been released on the BBC's website. In this series, you'll hear that the people who wrote this very modern drama, the reporters, columnists, and broadcasters who shape public opinion on royalty, allegations of sexism, racism, strategic leaks, we examine them all. Go ahead and examine them, but I know what I have seen, and I know the reasons why I think what I think about Harry and Meghan, and that is because of how they have treated family. There is no dodging that. There is no amount of telling me they were forced into this Oprah interview by CBS. They are adults. They make their own choices, and they clearly made their own choice to go speak to Oprah. As a matter of fact, Meghan was talking about talking to Oprah before she even married into the royal family. They were talking in discussions. Meghan told Oprah it's not the right time because she knew eventually it would be the right time because she was plotting and planning from the very beginning. So don't try to tell me that I'm only thinking what I think about this couple because of how the news media has reported on them. I know how they have treated their families from their interviews, by the things that they do in their personal lives, which are also reported on. And people report on what they see and hear. Judge deals a blow to Andrew's hopes of having this sex assault case thrown out. Prince Andrew would like to have this case thrown out, but it's not looking good for him. No, it's not. So the judge, he told the court that at this stage, he must assume the truth that Andrew, who's 61, forced a child to have these encounters with him. The judge promised a quick decision over the Duke's attempt to get this thrown out as a civil case that was brought on by Virginia. Prince Andrew's attorneys are saying this should just be thrown out because she signed a document that she had signed with Epstein protecting other potential defendants, like I said. So the judge is going to see whether or not this is going to happen. It was not clear what was meant by potential defendants. So I guess that is the question. So potential defendants is someone, I think, what Andrew would be considered, because he's a defendant in the civil case, right? So they got to really come to some clarity on what a potential defendant is before they decide whether or not this can be thrown out. And I think it's pretty, like, okay, bold, though, if she's trying to sue Andrew, but she already got money from Jeffrey Epstein's. So is she trying to get more money? Like, wasn't he the one that orchestrated all of this? Why pull Andrew into this if she got the money because of the things that happened with people? I don't know. It just, something just ain't adding up. Something just is not adding up. I don't see what is going on with her wanting more money now. I didn't know she had money before. So this was allegedly already settled with Epstein and his lawyers. We got all these problems with the House of Windsor now. Are people playing some kind of like hand to like, okay, get rid of the royal family. We're going to throw out these cards to cause problems. Okay. Meghan Markle, Prince Andrew, Prince Charles, you know, all these things coming out. And I don't know. It just seems very suspect to me. Harry and Meghan moving from Montecito. Apparently they are not happy with their big 9-bedroom, 11-bathroom mansion. Like they just looked around and finally got around to seeing all the rooms of the house and was like, I don't know if I like this house because it's so big, and they finally saw everything and now they're like, I don't want to be here. So they want to move into another house. So I don't understand how you can live in a house that expensive and not like it. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you really don't like this big house? I don't care. I'm like, any house over $1 million, I'm going to like it. You ain't even got to show it to me. And it has to be in a good area because we know, okay, $1 million house in California ain't going to get you much. But 11 million will. Apparently they're not happy, so they're looking to move. Some people were saying they could possibly be going back to the UK. They might be going to visit the UK or maybe even look at some property at the UK. Maybe they're running out of money. I don't know. But people have been speculating all kinds of different things. I know what's been reported, and what's been reported is that they're looking for another house in Montecito. Okay, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Like, is it going to be a bigger house? Is it going to be a smaller house? I think a little modesty would do them a lot of good. It would look good if they downsize quite a bit and perhaps try to show that you're not all about materialism. You're not all about the grander things of life. And we also know that Prince William is looking to creating some homeless homes. They're looking to have homeless people move into because we have so much excess. Why not? That's a good thing. And I think William has got the right idea about a lot of things. And we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening with these homes for the homeless within some of these castles over in the UK. We'll have to just wait and see what Harry and Meghan decide to do. I find it interesting that they are looking to move already. It shows that, to me, some cracks, something ain't right. Let's just say something ain't right. If you got to try to find that perfect home, and if this over $1 million home is not perfect enough for you, like you trying to find some better happiness through materialism, like you trying to find something to patch up mentally with a new home. This is what I'm reading into it. This is not what's been reported. I told you what's been reported. But considering all the news, all the things that have been coming out about Harry and Meghan, all the conflict, issues, drama, this cannot be good for a marriage. Having issues within a marriage with little kids is already an issue. So what I'm seeing is that they're trying to find the materialism that's going to really help their happiness or help them within their way of feeling good about themselves and everything that they've done. It will all eventually come to light, and we'll see. And I think I've been pretty good about reading into the things with this couple. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I will see you in the next one. Peace and love. Bye-bye.